welcome to another episode of Codo Cinema, the podcast show where I talk about movies. I'm your host, Mark Codo, aka Codoman. For this episode, I'm going to do something a little different. Now, I have done this before, but this one's going to be a trailer review. So, I'm reviewing a movie trailer for an upcoming movie. Like I said, I have done this before. And I've done it before with Spider-Man No Way Home, including Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, including a couple other trailers as well. Now, for this movie trailer I'm going to talk about Deadpool 3. Although the trailer itself is known as Deadpool and Wolverine, but ironically, it's literally Deadpool 3. Now, to give in my brief background on Deadpool, I have seen both Deadpool movies, both Deadpools 1 and 2 that came out in 2016 and 2018. Now, of course, Deadpool has also appeared in the X-Men Origins Wolverine movie where his mouth was sewn shut. That was a thing in the X-Men movies, but thankfully the Deadpool movies poked fun of that, and that's all in thanks to Ryan Reynolds. And Ryan Reynolds, he plays Wade Wilson, aka Deadpool, and literally, it really says something when you know in the fact that Ryan Reynolds is a huge fan of the character, and he literally has a huge heart for this character. Like, he plays this, he knows how to play Deadpool. He loves playing this character. And then, of course, this would be, I want to say, his third outing as Deadpool, but to be honest, this is kind of his fourth outing as Deadpool. But if you literally take X-Men Origins Wolverine out of the equation, this is literally his third performance as Deadpool in a Deadpool movie, if you want to say. But as an X-Men movie, I say this is his fourth time. Knowing the fact that we had to remember he played Deadpool, but not the Deadpool that we know in X-Men Origins Wolverine. Just throwing that out there. But anyway, about a week ago, Disney and Marvel dropped the trailer for Deadpool and Wolverine, otherwise known as Deadpool 3. Now, the trailer dropped on Super Bowl Sunday, which was February 11th. Trailer was obviously a red band trailer. Well, it wasn't really a red band trailer, but it doesn't really say. It doesn't really say it's a red band trailer, but it's obviously a trailer where they actually went out of their way to tell people, like, no, we're not holding back on this R rating. We're going to full-on R rating. Like, literally. How can the MCU do a PG-13 Deadpool? Like, you can't, I guess you could say for, like, TV shows for kids. Obviously, there has been a few Marvel TV shows, most notably on Disney XD, where they actually had a Deadpool toned down from being R-rated to, just your typical PG character, while also still, being the merc with the mouth that he is. But a live-action PG-13 Deadpool, like, I can't see that. I'm sorry, I really can't see that. Sure, yeah, they attempted to do that back in 2018 after Deadpool 2 came out, called Once Upon a Deadpool, where they attempted a PG-13 rated Deadpool while combining elements from The Princess Bride, but unfortunately, that didn't work out. But to be fair, though, I do give props to Marvel and Fox for at least trying to do something. But at the end of the day, Deadpool, I'm sorry, he is literally R-rated. Come on, can't go wrong with that. And with the trailer alone, they literally went out of the way just to let everybody know that no, this is gonna be an R-rated Deadpool. This is not gonna be PG-13. Of course, obviously, there were a couple F-bombs being dropped. Deadpool literally attacking his enemies with his katana swords, and of course, dual pistols. Plus, of course, knowing the fact that this is Disney, this is the first MCU movie, Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, where it's gonna have an R rating. Deadpool is gonna have to reference Disney, literally, in the first couple of seconds of that trailer, literally, Deadpool name drops Disney. He knows that it's gonna be, well, obviously it's gonna be a Disney movie, but it's still gonna be an R. He knows it's a Disney movie, but it's still literally the R rating is still there, and of course, Deadpool makes a literal sexually explicit joke in the trailer, stating that it's going to be the first time the MCU had, or over to that it's going to be the first time that the MCU had used such humor before, and speculated that the film could expand upon, like the certain joke, not well, the jokes and themes that are going, like, like how the content, some of the R-rated content, if you know what I'm saying, especially with the MCU. Now, it's not the first. I mean, I will say this. I mean, the MCU. I say earlier MCU films like Phase 1, they have gone in that direction before. Like, only for brief moments, but still, they were still PG-13. There were still PG-13 movies, but at the same time, like, it's not the first time where the Marvel Cinematic Universe has gone down that R-rated like territory. In fact, one of the more recent examples, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which was directed by Sam Raimi, there was a lot of violence in that movie. Some of the violence ended up some of the violence, like, literally over the top gore as well. And I'm gonna be honest with you, like, it was still PG-13, but literally Sam Raimi literally went out of his way just to put in a lot of violence in that movie. And I'll be honest with you, and I'm just gonna say this: whenever you have Sam Raimi on board, whether it's like a Marvel film, a Disney movie, or even outside of that, you know what you're getting into. Because if you know Sam Raimi's style, like, he combines comedy and horror and violence as well, and violence. He combines comedy, horror, and violence. So I'm just telling you right now. I'm just throwing that out there just to let everybody know. But for Deadpool, like, you already know the idea of what Deadpool is. Like, obviously, he's the merc with the mouth. His name is Wade Wilson, and of course, obviously, he goes on always goes on violent rampages, as the anti-hero that he is. Trailer wise, I mean, we do get the trailer open. Now, I already mentioned that, of course, Deadpool names drops Disney, knowing the fact that he even dropped a sexually explicit joke in the trailer, but also the fact that the opening of the trailer even shows, like, Deadpool and his buddies are all celebrating his birthday until the TVA showed up, and they wanted Deadpool to change the history of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And then, of course, Deadpool also drops this joke: I'm the Messiah. I am Marvel Jesus. And I'm just like, what? What is going on? Okay, yeah, so obviously enough, the trailer alone is, we already know what's going on in the trailer. Like, obviously, we know what's going to happen. Like, Deadpool is going on a mission to change the history of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And to be honest with you, this does connect it back to Deadpool 2, even though in Deadpool 2 it's not connected to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But in Deadpool 2, if you remember, Deadpool went back in time to, like, change things in the timeline. Like, he literally took out his own reject version in the X-Men Origins Wolverine timeline, where he shoots the mouthless Deadpool in the head, knowing the fact that the mouthless Deadpool is the fake Deadpool, and then the real Deadpool is Ryan Reynolds in full-on costume, just like saying, "Hey, no scratch, just clean up the timeline." And then, of course, obviously, he keeps turning back time. That was basically it. There were more things in that end credit sequence in the second Deadpool movie, but literally for the MCU, they're gonna do that. Deadpool is going to go back in time and literally change the course of history in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, this also could tie into a comic book storyline where Deadpool defeats the entire Marvel Universe. There's a comic book storyline where Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe, and this is when Deadpool discovers that he's not as crazy as he thought and embarks on a killing spree to prove it. Like, the whole thing revolves around Deadpool figuring out that he and the entire Marvel Universe are comic book characters, and his grand plan is to end all their needless suffering at the hands of the writers. Like, that's literally the plot of Deadpool killing the Marvel Universe. Now for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I don't know if they're going to go that far, but like I believe some of the elements of Deadpool killing the Marvel Universe are going to play probably they're definitely going to play a role in this movie, but I don't know. But I don't know how far. Now I don't know how far that movie will go for that storyline. If that's the case, but I could definitely see the connection right there. No, I could definitely see that bit of a connection right there. Plus, knowing the track record of the previous Marvel films that came out, most notably like after Endgame, like some of the Marvel movies have not been doing well financially and critically. Like the recent Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and of course the Marvels, those two films bombed at the box office, including Black Widow, Marvel's The Eternals. Some of their TV shows, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't care much for the TV shows as much. But in the track record they had, like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, especially in the hands of Disney, they have not been doing as well as many people thought it would be. Because this is like post Endgame. Like many people speculated and said that no, like the Marvel Cinematic Universe ended with Endgame. Like to be fair, I can see it, but there were still a few good Marvel movies that came out after Endgame. Spider-Man: No Way Home did pretty well. I thought Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings was okay. I thought Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness was fine, including Black Panther Wakanda Forever. And of course, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. That was a good one too. With Deadpool 3, I think Deadpool and Wolverine will definitely be a good movie. I think it's going to be a good movie too. Of course, Disney and Marvel, they got other projects in store, like like the new Captain America movie, to which I don't know how well that movie's going to do. Especially without Captain America himself, Steve Rogers. But anyway, going back to the trailer, like Deadpool is visited by the TVA. Now the TVA, or otherwise known as Time Variance Authority, is a fictional organization appearing in American comic books published by Marvel Comics, depicted as a group of timeline monitors tasked with preventing certain timelines that are deemed too dangerous to the multiverse from existing. Now, the TVA played a huge role in Marvel's Loki, and now they're going to play a role in Deadpool 3. They see Deadpool as someone who is special. I mean, they showed Deadpool like all the clips, all the archive footage from the previous Marvel Cinematic Universe films, and then this gives Deadpool the idea to like go back in time to like change the history of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But also, this also can be hinted that they're obviously going to poke fun. They're going to poke fun at how Disney is handling things with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I could definitely see that. But anyway, moving forward, like the trailer, I mean, Deadpool puts on his classic red Deadpool suit, and of course he has the dual pistols and the katanas, and he goes on different rampages. Like there's a scene where he takes out some guards, which could be in the location of where the Avengers Age of Ultron, which is probably the location that Deadpool is at, is basically like a snowy forest location, which could be hinted at the location that the Avengers were at in Avengers Age of Ultron, where they invaded Baron von Strucker's castle or laboratory, which is the Hydra base. So, or it could also be hinted that it could be the forest scene where Wolverine was having his final battle, trying to save the kids in Logan. That could be the case, but I don't know. Like, he takes out some guards. There's even another shot where he's fighting off Pyro's guards. Yes, Pyro, although he's known as John Allardyce. But his name is Pyro in the comics, and he's a mutant with the ability to manipulate fire. And he's played by Aaron Stanford, and he's from the X-Men film series. And Aaron Stanford played Pyro in X-Men 2 and X-Men 3. And of course, it's also announced that Jennifer Gardner will appear as Elektra from the 2003 Daredevil movie. And of course, her own solo film, Elektra. Of course, We also had other characters that made appearances like Dopinder, Blind Owl, Vanessa, Negasonic Teenage Warhead, Colossus, and then of course Peter as well, including Shatterstar, to which Shatterstar was shredded by the helicopter blades in Deadpool 2. So it looks like Deadpool rescues Shatterstar, and of course Peter as well. Peter being played by Rob Delaney. Going back to Pyro for a second, like the shot where you see Pyro in this trailer is saying, "God, I love this next part." Like that's Pyro. Like him screaming, "God, I love this next part." That is Pyro right there. And of course, like there's even a shot where there's even a shot where a certain Deadpool variant is wearing black gloves, but also has a little bit of a line to it, which could reference to a Deadpool variant, I believe. So we might see some variants of Deadpool in this movie. I mean, I don't know if that's the case, but we might. We even get another shot where Deadpool is also loading his dual pistols in slow motion, and in the background, if you look closely in the background, and this is like in a desert setting, the 20th Century Fox logo is actually in the background, tilted, like already destroyed. Like you see the bottom part of the 20th Century Fox logo with the X logo on it, knowing the fact that Disney bought 20th Century Fox and rebranded to 20th Century Studios. And of course, that's literally the thing. You see it in the background, knowing the fact that 20th Century Fox is destroyed. It's now rebranded into 20th Century Studios. Just in that trailer alone. There's also a couple of other characters as well. We don't know the names yet, but there's one character in one scene where he's literally activating his satellite, and he's wearing this green hood and mask, which some people speculated it could be a variant of Doctor Doom, but it could be a Doctor Doom minion or some sort. Like if you look at the trailer, if you go to the shot in the trailer where you see this henchman who is activating his satellite, and he wears this hood. He wears this green hood and metal mask, which could resemble Doctor Doom, and it's also hinted that Doctor Doom may show up in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But yeah, there's this henchman who looks like Doctor Doom who activated his satellites in this trailer. I don't know if that's Doctor Doom, but we'll see. There's another character who made a brief appearance, and I don't know who the character is, but this character was a quick shot. It was literally a quick shot, and it's just basically this character who has this bald head. Some people speculated that it could be Cassandra Nova in that one shot. The shot where you see this bald guy. It's not Charles Xavier. It's not Charles Xavier. It's like a different character. It could be Cassandra Nova from the Marvel Comics. So just to throw that out there. And of course, we gotta talk about probably the highlight of the trailer, and that's obviously Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. Now, Wolverine, obviously, you only get a couple of shots of Wolverine. Like the first shot you see of Wolverine's like. It seems like he's sitting at this table playing, which looks to be a poker table or something, playing poker or gambling. Like this is at a casino. Now, some people speculated that it could be a different Wolverine variant. So that may not be the Hugh Jackman Wolverine. It could be a different Wolverine. But the last shot of the trailer shows Wolverine in silhouette, walking up in front of Deadpool, who's just laying down on the ground, and he's just literally all tired out. Like Deadpool's all tired out, and it's like, and Deadpool's like, "Can you give me a hand, please?" And then what comes next? Wolverine raises his fist, and the claws come out, and Deadpool's like, "No thanks, I'm good." No. And then for a split second, you see Wolverine's back, wearing the blue and yellow spandex suit, and of course the Wolverine haircut that Hugh Jackman has. So yes, that's basically the trailer, and of course we get the Deadpool and Wolverine title, and that's gonna be the name of the movie, Deadpool and Wolverine. I always thought it was Deadpool 3, but to be fair, I mean, Deadpool and Wolverine sounds like a good title. Okay, So anyway, that's the trailer. That's literally the trailer. And to be fair, I like this trailer. Like, this trailer alone, like, it literally got me hyped for this movie. Although, granted, I am still wondering if this movie would be good. Now, I think this movie would be good, but in terms of in terms of the track record that Disney is going with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I'm not really sure. But I could definitely see the hype and the potential of how good Deadpool and Wolverine is going to be. Now, of course, the trailer had 365 million global views in its first 24 hours, becoming the most viewed trailer in that time period, surpassing the record of Spider-Man No Way Home with 355.5 million views. Like, that is amazing. Even Hugh Jackman himself posted a tongue-in-cheek jab at Reynolds with a modified logo displaying Wolverine and asshole. Like, what? Wolverine and asshole? Like, is it just because Deadpool is a bit of a jerk? Even though Deadpool can be a bit of a dick at times, but like, is it the fact that does Wolverine see Deadpool as a bit of an asshole too? Is that where this is going? My goodness. Oh, that already bred. Oh, wow. That trailer was. Oh, wow. Hugh Jackman was not holding back on that joke. Oh, man. Oh, man. Like, that's funny. That's a funny jab. That's a funny jab right there. But anyway, I'm looking forward to this movie. I hope this movie's good. Like, I want this movie to be good. Like, it's been 6 years since we got a Deadpool movie. And I think this movie's going to be good. Like, I think this movie's going to be good. I think this movie's going to be a lot of fun. Now, will it be a good third installment? I hope this is a good third installment for Deadpool because in one of the previous X-Men movies, X-Men Apocalypse, Jean, Cyclops, Nightcrawler, and Jubilee poked fun, made a joke about third installments after seeing Star Wars: Return of the Jedi. They joked on third installments, like saying like, well, even though the sequel was the best, now we can at least know that the third installments are always the worst. Like, that's the joke that they made in X-Men Apocalypse. Like, I hope this third installment is good. Now, granted, Logan was a third installment for Wolverine, and that one was actually good. Of course, even though X-Men Last Stand wasn't as great as some people thought it was, but it was still a lot of fun. But I hope Deadpool 3 is a good third installment. Deadpool and Wolverine, I can't wait for that. I believe Deadpool and Wolverine, they're both of these guys are going to be the highlights of that movie, no matter what. Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds, they're obviously going to go toe-to-toe with each other. And, of course, throwing banter as well. Like, literally, it's going to be a fun movie. I can definitely tell. I hope this movie is good. The movie is directed by Sean Levy, who is very well known for his involvement with Stranger Things and of course, the three Nights at the Museum movies. Plus, he also directed the movie Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds, which is basically going into a virtual video game like style reality, and to which Sean Levy directed, and I think that one was a fun movie as well. So at the very least, Sean Levy and Ryan Reynolds, they at least know what they're gonna do with this movie. So it really says it enough when your main star when your director and main star where both the main director and main star has collaborated before on a movie. So now will that make the movie any good if they collaborate again? I mean it could be hard to say, but at the same time, I can see the potential right there. But other than that, I'd say that'll be a wrap on this episode. But anyway, what did you all think of the Deadpool 3 trailer? Did you like the trailer? Did you not like the trailer? Are you looking forward to Deadpool and Wolverine? I would love to hear your thoughts. But anyway, that's a wrap on this episode. Thank you all for tuning into Codo Cinema. I'm your host, Mark Codo, aka Codoman. Remember to watch movies and stay positive.